Karmakast. 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 91 Karma's hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. Stones, classes, traits, and what to equip. Strategy melts, combos a hit. Teaching rookies on the streets. Skillabot will give you a hint. Karmakast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops. Charting paths and breaking norms. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. Hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. Karmakast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops. Charting paths and breaking norms. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. Karma's hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. Karmakast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops. Charting paths and breaking norms.
Welcome everybody to another amazing episode of Karmakast, the podcast where we talk everything about DeFi Kingdoms. And with me today, my co-host, my hair. Well, what are we going to do today? No games at all, fortunately, because lately I had a lot of really bad experiences and I've been really pissed off at this game. But nonetheless, I'm here standing. Kadia stands, somebody used to say. I'm standing in the same way. But what are we going to do? We're going to do something more interesting than just a normal match as usual. I'm going to go through what we know at the moment about the pirates. And I'm gonna try to think about the space that this new class release is gonna take in the environment, in the actual meta that we have. So what did I do here? I already took all the skills, divided them by skill tree because the way they've written there is really impossible to read in a live stream with the screen that has got to go left and right to try to understand. I avoided taking the names of the skills, which I realized might be an error for some skills that actually have a combo that gets activated, but we don't care. We're gonna simply call them tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna tell you what I think about them, what I think is gonna get changed about them, how I'm planning to set my pirates up, what I'm planning to do with them, the compositions I'm planning to play, I know this sounds like revealing a lot of stuff that I should keep secret, but anyway, the secret lasts one game, then everybody knows. It's on the blockchain, baby. So, where do we start? We start by saying that as any other class in the Kingdoms, pirates have got three skill trees, which is something that we all knew already. These skill trees are named Buster, the Pirate Code, and Luck of the Sea. So, first of all and foremost, I believe pirates will change a lot the meta, will shape the meta a lot. I have the feeling that the 3 DPS that we will have now, so pirates, archer, wizard, are gonna become like a game of rock, paper, scissors, where each of them has got some sort of advantage against one of the others, and it's gonna be a triangle of that. That said, I might be wrong, clearly, because we never know what's gonna happen and how it's gonna play. We don't know if the release of the Codex is gonna be exactly as it is here. I don't think it's gonna be exactly like this, and I'm gonna even tell you what I think is gonna change pretty soon. But that said, let's start with the first Q3, which I want to believe at this point is gonna be the one on the left, but might not. The first Q3 that we're gonna look at is Buster. And one thing really curious that you can already see here in my spreadsheet is that each of these Q3 is gonna be based on a different stat. So this is already different from the other classes that we have in the Kingdoms because we all know that more or less there's some specific stats that define how a class works. Usually it's like dexterity for the archer, damage. Some skills are based on luck, but are heavily influenced by dexterity anyway. It's gonna be strength for warriors or berserkers. It's gonna be intelligence for wizards, priests and seer. Then if you want to use healing skills, it's gonna be wisdom. So we know that generally speaking, every class is based on a specific kind of stat. We just moved from 5 viewers to 20. I don't know what happened here. I don't know if they're real. If you are, guys, welcome. If you are not, welcome anyway. Um, so. Uh, First skill tree, as we said, is Buster. The description is the Buster path focuses on dealing punishing ranged attacks with a fearsome blunderbuss pistol. No small amount of dexterity is required to master this path, which allows the pirate to take out enemies from a distance with their bombastic dragon. That sounds already cool to me, gotta be honest with you, but okay, we will see how it works out. So this is the skill tree where you will see the pistol coming out, basically. We already know that there's not gonna be any pistol NFT. So all the damage that the pirate is gonna make is gonna be based only exclusively on the sword that it's gonna have. Because I believe it can equip mostly swords. I can actually check this already for you. Pirate, apply, manage equipment. This is for sale. It doesn't let me do it, but this one is not. So, Hydra's Gate, unsupported class. Deep mode, and level too low. So maybe it can, okay, I can see from the so the dagger might be supported. Let's see if I open the dagger, I find it out. Bard, ninja, pirate. So the pirate can use the dagger, which is interesting because we all know that we have, yeah, TuneFed is buying Bitcoin for everybody. We all know that. We know that The daggers can be really menacing, especially with a class that can crit with a high luck. So toy swords or the swords, of course, he can use the swords. No double hand weapon, no bows. Rip Fang, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. The Rip Fang is gonna be the weapon that works for them, at least at the moment. Can they use the gloves? They cannot use the gloves. That's fine. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, they can use swords and daggers. I don't know if they can use a mace, because here I only have the really. Ah, I have a maple club. Yeah, they can use the mace as well. So they can use swords, daggers, maces. That's actually interesting. I believe that anyway, the way to go is gonna be the Ripfang or the blade, the one that can cause poison, I believe, the coral blade. That's another interesting thing. But I don't think pirates will have that many um, violent the iteration of damage that can justify having a weapon that 3% chance of putting poison. I don't think that's gonna be a thing at all, but maybe. Anyway, first Q3 Buster based on dexterity. So this is basically the ranged attack kind of pirate. And from what I've seen, and now we check it together, is most likely the one that is gonna annoy the wizards the most. At least that's what I believe. I tried to sort out the streaming on the arena once again, but it clearly didn't work out. But anyway, right now there's 65 viewers, which I think is impossible. But hey, guys, 75. No, 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 there's something wrong. 75 people following me, that I don't have this amount of people. So there's something wrong here. Somebody is clearly fucking with me, which I don't deny I enjoy. Um, so skill tier number one, because I removed all the names from these skills. So at the moment we call it tier number one. It's a passive, which is kind of weird. I believe that what is gonna happen here, all these passives that are set up as tier one skills in the codex are gonna be moved to tier two, exactly as every other class. We all know each class has got passives on tier two. Yeah, 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 yeah. I noticed that there's some sort of power in that kind of thing there. I noticed Sticks. Welcome to the stream, by the way, and thank you for hosting Meeting Mayhem tonight as well. I don't know if I have a level 10 team. I'm pissed that I probably won't be able to participate, but we will find it out later. So what I was saying is that yeah, it's really dumb. Yeah, but we like dumb things. I mean, that's why we like Berserkers. So all these passives as tier one are most likely gonna be moved to tier two and swapped with the tier two skill. At least that's what I believe is gonna happen. Because every class has got a passive as tier two. Would be weird to have a passive as tier one for the pirates, but everything is possible, we all know. So what does it say? It says roll a d20 at the start of a battle and reroll every X duration. So this is a buff that works somehow like the astrologer from Seer, that every 7 turns is gonna I don't know if that's a coincidence. It might be just a coincidence. Um you telling I have a chance. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um So what I was saying is like the skill from the seer astrologer, where every 7 turns you get the barrier. So this is gonna be the same. And already here I have a question, but let me finish with it. Increases the zero effective dexterity by X%, where X is the value of the D20 roll. So this is really onboarding is pirate themed. I love that. I see what you're doing there, man, and I love that. So yeah, we're having some kind of D&D style mechanic here that has been introduced with the Divine Essence in a really sneaky way, because all of a sudden we had the D20 rolls in the background that we are able to see. At least we are able to see the result of the D20 roll, not the D20 rolling. That would be cool to see, actually, especially if they're gonna bring it on the game, but maybe too confusing. Still, what I think here is that this skill is cool already, because mm, it's like for the king, used by the knight, that increases your endurance and your strength. Just this one is a bit more randomic, because it increases it by an X% based on a roll on a D20. And here my first question, is this gonna be a cumulative bonus, or is gonna be changed every X turns when it's gonna do it again? If it's gonna be cumulative, is crazy, honestly. Because if you roll 20 twice, you're gonna get a 40. You're not gonna roll 20 twice, but we know that with a lot of games, a lot of matches, sooner or later, this is gonna happen at least once, and most likely it's gonna happen against me, as we always know. That's what usually happens. No, so if you roll two 20s with this sheet, are you gonna get plus 40% dexterity in 8 turns of game? And we know that for how slowly we play this game, yeah, I want to believe that it's not cumulative, the FK Elite. I guess the same. But at the moment, nowhere is written that this thing is gonna be turned back to zero before being rolled again. It's not even written that it's cumulative. Okay, so we are still in that hope kind of space, headspace. But I mean, even if it's not cumulative, it's already a cool dynamic. Skill tier 2 from the Buster skill tree. And this is one of those that we like already. Fire a single gunshot at a target enemy in either P1 or P2. Deals physical damage equal to X time basic plus X time dexterity. So this is a piercing shot, basically. Or at least is a nice gunshot. Range 2. So we're seeing already that the bombastic dragon hasn't got that great range, but still it works pretty well. Um, what up, what up? Oh, Beaver, Beaver. If you scroll up the chat, you find that the first message in the chat is about you. Shout out to Beaver because he beats. Pirates are gonna slap, but well, mostly they're gonna shoot apparently. So, combo, if the heroes cast any Buster ability last turn, gain X% plus X time dexterity chance to daze for a duration of X. So we already know that this for a duration of X is gonna be scrapped, because daze doesn't work with duration. Simply you daze, and for a turn an opponent is dazed. So basically, you remove some initiative and you interrupt the channel. That's it. The cool thing is that this seems like to be able to uh, combo with itself. So if you do this twice in a row, you're gonna get this bonus, because it's already a buster ability. So you shoot once, you shoot twice, and the second time, from if you keep doing, the more you keep doing it, you keep dazing, or at least you keep having a chance of dazing. The damage is X basic plus X dexterity. It might be 0.5, or it might be 1. We don't know. some iron bullets. I believe that we can have equipments like special bullets that you can equip in the item slot. That could be a cool idea, honestly. If that comes out, I'm gonna enjoy it so much. Fire and ice bullets are gonna probably depend from the enchantment that we're gonna put on the blade. But that's something we're gonna see in another moment. I mean, we already say that everything is based on the weapon. So if the weapon says fire or whatever else, fire it is, even on the gunshots, which is a weird dynamic, we know, but it works this way. So already a great skill, and it's just tier 1 and 2. Let's see tier 3. Fire a blunderbuss blast. X% plus X time dexterity chance to destroy target barriers of targets in P1 and P2. So, guys, it's time to start hiding those wizards in the back because otherwise, people is gonna remove your barrier and goodbye raw arcana knowledge, and stuff like that. Deals physical damage to enemies in P1 and P2 equal to X time the basic attack plus X time luck each. So this is one of the few skills in this skill tree that does damage based on luck. So at this point, we already can see that for pirates, we're gonna have dexterity if you want to use this skill tree. We need to have luck because of the skill tree. You need to have swiftness because you want it to be fast. We saw how important it is to be fast in this game. And then you want to have HP, so vitality. So these are the four stats that you need to focus on if your intention is to use this skill tree. I believe that with this power of removing barriers from two targets with one single shot, this skill tree is gonna be used a lot, especially when you have to face those double wizard compositions where they play priest, wizard, wizard, and they use the barriers to try to raise AP. You can fuck their game up, at least for one of their wizards. In combo with a monk that can pull people and move them around, I believe this is gonna be perfect to fuck up the wizard's compositions. We will see. Also, it's not over. There's an X% plus X times dexterity chance to daze target enemy for a duration of X. Again, duration of X is gonna be scrapped. It's gonna be X% plus X time dexterity chance to daze. That's it. But already like this, we can see that out of three skills, there's one passive and two skills that are able of dazing. I mean, and these can daze multiple targets in one shot. I mean, this is crazy. It's gonna be so game changing because it's gonna manipulate the turns a lot. Skill tier 4, and this is the funny one everybody knows. Shoot target enemy in the leg. Okay, what can I tell you? This sounds really like a South Italian thing to do. I mean, I would easily think that this is a mafia thing, shoot people in the leg. But what else does it do? Deal physical damage equal to X time basic plus X time dexterity. So it's like the tier 2 skill, which is gonna be a tier 1, I believe. X% chance plus X time dexterity to slow target enemy by X%. We don't know how much. For the duration of X, this is gonna have a duration, as we know, is like the effect of an Excalibur. And also combo, if warning shot was used on this hero's last turn, which I'm not sure which one is warning shot, probably the number 2, I want to believe, gain X time, X% plus X time dexterity chance to stun target enemy for a duration of X. So to stun target enemy. Yeah, this is clearly a mafia class. I mean, it comes, shoots you in the leg, slows you down, stuns, and then dazes everybody. This is already clearly game changing for the way we play the game at the moment. Imagine all those archers in level 10 in level 10 bouts that are gonna be fucked up so much from the fact that they risk not dazing because this guy's gonna have high dexterity. So no way this guy. If you play this Q3, you're gonna have level 20, probably 60 dexterity, like an archer. So you're not gonna miss that much, even when they use Shroud. And once you start to hit with all this thing and keep dazing and dazing and dazing, ah man, especially considering that the passive is gonna increase your dexterity even more. At that point, you hit always, and you daze, especially considering how this works. If you roll high on the D20, you're gonna daze and stun all the time with this thing. Which, guys, I mean, when we read together the Wizard Codex, we say this is gonna be cool, this is gonna be OP, and eventually it's been OP, it's been game changing for the whole ecosystem. The meta is built on Wizards now, and now it's gonna be built on Pirates as well. So, tier 5 target ally against X% evasion, where X is X plus X time dexterity plus X time luck for a duration of X. Already this, it means that you're gonna give somebody like 30 evasion. And this means, I'll tell you now, that if you play it like this, it's gonna fuck up all the pyroclasts. Because this plus the smoke bombs, who's gonna hit you? Even with the Scully, but who's gonna hit you? I mean, no, seriously, even with the Scully, with whatever you want, extra accuracy and divination and shit, but who's gonna hit you? If you give X plus, let's say that X is only 5, and that is 1 dexterity, 1 luck. I want to believe that it's dexterity score and luck score, obviously, because it cannot be more than that. But still, X plus 1, the dexterity score in this case is gonna be 15, 18, and luck score is gonna be high as well. It's gonna be another 10, 12. It's already 35, 40% extra evasion, plus a smoke bomb. But who's gonna hit you? I mean, then says the next X amount of attacks that target this hero as are redirected to that ally with the extra evasion. So a Pyroclast or a Frost Lance can try to hit you twice on the hero where you did this thing and not hit. That's fucked up. X time is the d6 divided by x rounded down. So it's a number that we cannot define now yet. But okay. Okay, so what do we think about this first skill tree? Feels OP. Feels like there's a lot of offensive potential, that there's a lot of constricting potential is in the sense of days, stun, slow, all these status effects. Also add to it that if you're gonna give a gore blade with, I don't know, 10% bleed on this field, there's a good chance that you're gonna add bleed as well, which is not bad at all, in my opinion. Also, there's this skill that is really crazy because it's gonna let you fuck up Pyroclast so much. I mean, I believe that the whole Pyroclast setup is scrapped just by this skill tree. Because it's gonna keep you dazing and stunning and slowing you. So it's gonna be difficult already to get to the point where you can cast the Pyroclast. And then you have to protect the Pyroclast. And then you have to hope you're gonna manage to hit, because with a skill like that, if it's timed properly, you might even not hit, even with the Scully High. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna work out, because we know it's gonna change a lot. Uh, wow. Second skill tree. So this is the strength based one. What it says is the pirate code. This path reflects the defining elements of what it means to be a swashbuckling rogue that lives outside the inconvenient confines of the law. And an unsheathed cutlass and a measure. Come on, how did you write this description? Work. I need to text him and ask him why. A measure of strength are required in such an hostile environment of up close and personal diplomatic discourse. Okay, so this is the hand-to-hand combat skill tree, basically. So with the first one that we saw before, it's dexterity based and it's based on using a gun and a blunderbuss. This one instead is based on using a sword. Well, using a cutlass actually, because it's a pirate. Um, Same passive, identical, just instead of being based on dexterity, it's based on strength. Again, if it's cumulative, this is gonna be worse than the berserker at a certain point. I really hope it's not cumulative because it wouldn't make any sense. But still, that X%, that D20% extra strength is gonna come in hand so much. Skill number one. I say number one because I believe this one as well is gonna be moved to tier one instead than tier two. But anyway, unsheath a cutlass and roll a D20 again. Slash target enemy. I think this is range one. Dealing physical damage equal to X, where X is X times the result of the D20 times the basic attack. Now, if the skill would end here, I would say, okay, it's OP. But then it adds plus X times strength plus X times luck. Uh, I mean, I want to believe that it's gonna be 0.2 times the D20 times basic, so you can get in the best option. No, but even that is too much. It's gonna be 0.1 d20, so that if you roll 20, you're doing twice the basic attack, plus one strength, one luck, but it cannot be more than that, because if it's 0.5 times d20 times basic attack, it's gonna be already 1000 damage, without adding strength and luck. And I don't believe that this is balanced in any way. So I'm sure that this is gonna be 0.1. This has got an X% pierce. And also there's a combo. If the zero casts a pirate code ability last turn, gain X% plus X times strength chance to inflict bleed for a duration of X. So I really don't know if when you play this skill tree you want to use the gore blade where you have already a chance of inflicting bleed. You might want to use the coral blade where you have a chance of inflicting poison, which makes a bit more sense at this point. Um, it triggers the combo with itself, I would say, because this is a skill from the pirate code skill tree. So this is already a great skill. It works a lot. I'm sure that they're gonna put some numerical info here that is gonna make it be less powerful than what it looks like when you read it with the X around. It must be like this. But already for a basic skill, because it's gonna be probably tier one skill, but even if it's tier two, it's gonna cost shit mana. It's gonna be crazy. Third tier is slash target enemy with a cutlass. Okay, expected. Deal physical damage equal to X time basic plus X time strength, which is good. And it's got an X% plus X times strength chance to silence target for a duration of X. So this is another skill that is gonna fuck up the wizards. If this has got range 2, guys, hide those wizards in the back. Combo if Unlucky Jenkins, which I believe is the previous skill, was used on this hero's last turn, gain X% plus X times strength, chance to inflict bleed for a duration of X. So another skill that can inflict bleed. So again, there's no need to put bleed on your weapon if you gonna have already a roll, an high roll of causing bleed. This is gonna combo really well with the warrior punch and the whole bleed mm, skill tree. You might want to use things like archer, pirate, warrior, where you go full on bleed. Might be cool to try. Tier 4. This hero and each ally consecutively perform a basic attack dealing physical damage to target enemy in P1. So basically, they're gonna gang up on the P1, so the forefront liner of your opponent is gonna be basic attacked so much. And if you have a berserker in that team, fucking hell, poor guy. You can actually use double berserker pirates with this skill, and it's gonna be so funny to see when they all together do one basic attack with those buffs that the berserker gain all together on the poor frontliner who gets basically beaten up so badly all of that pa, 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 slaps everywhere. That's what Beaver meant when he said pirate is gonna slap. Yeah, but physically on the opponent on on the front liner only. This hero gains first strike on this hero's next turn. I went to check what first strike means in the old article about the game terms, and I gotta be honest, it doesn't mean anything because it says this hero attacks as first in the turn. But what does it mean? And yeah, this ability sounds OP. If you plan it well, this ability sounds OP and it's really funny. Yeah. It's gonna be really fun. Pirates are gonna give a meaning to berserkers. I believe that. I'm sure. Double berserker pirate is gonna be so funny because you don't expect it, but all of a sudden they really ganging up on you. Imagine Berserkers in Berserk with plus 30%, plus 20% attack, and then all together they slap you. It was that you will go first, the beginning of the next round. Yeah, but if they keep it thematically, it like really fun. Yeah, that's what I think that first strike is gonna give you an initiative or a speed buff. That's what I think exactly. Um, it must be changed in that direction, I'm pretty sure. Like gain 500 initiative, something like that. I agree with you, Sticks, once again. It must be something like that. While ganging up on you, I mean, it's gonna be such a fun and unexpected moment the first time that somebody's gonna receive this amount of slaps. And it's gonna be so funny because then the guy is gonna even go faster. Not only is gonna make a whole team gang up on your frontliner, but then he's gonna act again immediately after. Maybe he can even shoot you in the leg after and slow you down. That would be a great combo, just in my fantasy. So then the tier 5 skill says deals physical damage to target hero. So this is already making me believe that this is a ranged attack with a damage equal to X time basic plus X time strength plus X time dexterity. If a target is below X% HP, execute target. If the target is executed, gain first strike again. So you're gonna get again. Okay, so this is like a final blow, but there's no channeling. But the volitional line is not channeling a twin arrow or so. Will yes, it will still perform an auto attack. If you ever notice, I say it because, and I'm pretty sure about it because when you are channeling and you retaliating, you have to retaliate. You do it and you keep the channeling on. So this is gonna work the same way. I'm pretty sure. On this, I can put my hand on the fire. I can put my hand on the pyroclast. Um, this, okay, so this I was saying is like a final blow, with the difference that this doesn't channel and also gives you extra initiative. Okay, I want to believe that the percentage of HP is gonna be like final blow, so 10% or probably even lower than that, otherwise it's OP. It's a cool skill. We know that execute usually doesn't really play out because of the channel, because of the lack of accuracy that the skill have. Remember, guys, that we don't know. Sounds too OP. Sounds too OP. Yes, probably it's gonna give. It's gonna have high amnesia because, guys, remember, we don't know how much amnesia this stuff is gonna have. We don't know the loss of accuracy this skill are gonna have. I hope they do. Yeah, yeah, I hope they do as well. I wanna play pirates as well. And then I wanna complain about people playing pirates. And I wanna complain about the nerf on the wizard that is gonna come. Anyway, this was the second skill tree. Once again, what I would equip on the guy is most likely the coral blade here. It's not the Rip Fang. I would keep the Rip Fang only for the last skill tree that we're gonna see soon. This clearly is strength based. So for this skill tree, I would probably pump strength, agility, vitality, dexterity, and throw some luck around because you never want to have it low. It's still a modifier in one skill. If you take it, you might want a bit of luck. But generally speaking, what you want to get is strength, dexterity, agility, vitality. That's what you gotta aim for. Um, that said, once again, we move to the last skill tree, which is the longest one actually. It's called the Luck of the Sea. As the name says, is a luck-based skill tree. We know by experience that luck skill tree are doing are getting done wrong by the developers. So I have some luck-based priest pirates, but I'm afraid they might not work out that well. So I made some swiftness, greater swiftness pirates as well, just in case. So the Luck of the Sea path is about trusting in the heart of the ocean and relying on the mysteries that piracy has unearthed over generation of gamblers and ruffians. With good fortune and of course a giant kraken are always reliable resources to turn the tide of battle. That's exactly what I want to know. That there's a kraken somewhere in all of this. So first tier is once again the same kind of passive, identical, just based on luck. So every X turns, you roll a d20, you get a bonus on the of X% on your luck, and based on your d20 roll, which is greatly welcome. Tier 2, flip a coin. Will we have the animation of the coin getting flipped? Wait, flip a coin from an ancient forbidden treasure hoard. It's not a normal coin. It's not that you open your wallet and you get your. I don't know what you guys have on your coins. I don't even know what people here in the UK have on their coins. But whatever is on your coin, maybe I don't know a Pikachu. You're gonna toss that. You're gonna flip that coin and see if it comes out head. Rally the crew morale, increasing each ally effective agility by X, where X is X time luck for a duration of X. If this is already one time luck, it's already crazy because you have already the buff from the passive. Say if You flip and comes out tails. Be careful because you rally crew morale again, increasing each ally's damage death by X% for the duration of X. And X is again X time luck. This is crazy. This is a crazy supportive skill tree. Combo. If these heroes cast any Luck of the Sea ability last turn, gain X% plus X time luck chances to increase the duration of the effect from X to X, I would say X to Y, just to change letter. So this is a crazy ability, honestly. I believe that people is gonna spam this shit a lot because it's gonna increase agility, so evasion, speed, everything, or it's gonna increase damage, which is great anyway, and it's gonna do it by a lot. Even if it's point 0.5 luck, is already crazy. I love it. Honestly, I already love it. Tier 3. Ready the cannons channeling for a duration of X. So probably this is gonna be one turn of channeling, like 1000 initiative. During channel gain X% evasion, which is crazy. Is like it's like a skill with shroud, automatic shroud. So you don't have to find another shroud anywhere else. Command the ship to fire all the starboard cannons. Deal physical damage to each enemy equal to X time the basic attack plus X time luck. This is a great area of damage attack. I love it already, even just because you're firing your starboard cannons. It's crazy. I love it. It's so cool. I can't wait for it to fuck up my next tournament and piss me off enormously, honestly. Mm. So, tier 4, call the Kraken. Delay X. So this is a skill that works more or less like this here, and it's gonna be possible to negate it. X is a D6 roll. So now we have D6 as well, not just D20. Okay. The Kraken's tentacles coil around the enemy's board. Deal physical damage to each enemy equal to X time the basic attack plus X time luck with an X% plus X times luck score, I believe, chance to fear the enemy with the lowest current HP value. So only one poor asshole is gonna get fear from this attack. Combo. If starboard cannons was used on the hero's last turn, gain X% plus X time luck chance to slow each enemy by X% for a duration of X. So this is gonna be yeah, like the tentacles are gonna slow them down. Yeah, I get it. It's super cool. At the moment, I think it's less strong or effective than any of the other skill trees, but it's honestly super cool. If you put a Rip Fang or even worse, the old daggers with 1.5 critical chance on a hero with this amount of luck, you're gonna crit so much damage, it's gonna be crazy. And with all these area of effect attacks, using a dagger, even if it's gonna reduce the amount of damage from the basic attack. All of this is gonna anyway result in a huge amount of damage. I love it. I love it. I'm already thinking about several different strategies that you can apply. It's crazy cool. Tier 5, last kills for today. Well, last kills of the Codex. This hero and target enemy roll a d20. Whichever hero rolls a lower sum value of X time the d20 plus X time luck receives X% additional damage for a duration of X. So this is basically like death mark, let's say. Deal physical damage to target enemy equal to X time the basic plus X time wisdom plus X time luck. And I don't believe that pirates will have that much wisdom, and I don't believe anybody would ever focus on increasing the wisdom on their pirates just for the skill. But it's actually pretty cool because you can get whichever priest. This is clearly a ranged attack. You can get whichever priest and deal to hit a shit ton of damage, honestly. Especially if you win the roll, which you might easily win considering that you have for sure more luck than him. Even if he rolls higher on the d20, you might be able to win easily. And at that point, you're putting in a shit ton of damage. Honestly, I believe that's crazy cool. Wow. So, guys, what do you think? Which kind of equipment would you put on a pirate? Which kind of skills do you think, based from what we know, of course, are gonna be the ones that you really want to try? Personally, of course, I want to try the gang up just for the fun of saying I tried this skill and it didn't work out, but it was funny to try and just the animation was crazy and I had a lot of fun. That I may do, honestly. Um, that sounds funny as fuck, honestly. I can't deny. Is the tier 4 of the pirate code. Okay, yeah, no, that's gonna be clearly one way to go. And to build a strategy only around that shit. Um, yeah, I believe everybody's gonna try the range, the Buster composition first because it's gonna. So what I expect to happen is this. At first, everybody's gonna play the Buster because it's gonna bust the Wizards meta with the skill that removes the barrier, all the damage that you can shoot in the leg and do this, and then extra evasion. That's definitely gonna fuck up the meta. Um, but then once that is gonna become the new meta, people is gonna start to adapt. And having this class in the game is gonna bring in a lot of different ways to play because now you see we were talking about the skill from the pirate code with double berserker that might actually work if you have the right berserkers with a lot of HP, second wind, last stand, this kind of stuff. Um, Same way, this can work as an archer in an archer priest composition. This is gonna bring in so much variety in the game. That means that probably we're gonna have a much wider meta. No, pirates are excluded from melee mosh pits. Just to let you know, I played one right now and I played pirates in the limited classes, so it cannot be played. Because it's not just Emily, it's a range, it's a wizard as well. No, the luck of the sea skill tree is all spells, and Buster skill tree is all fire shots. So it's not Emily Mosh Pit combatant. But I appreciate the idea because that was cool to think. Um, Guys, I believe this is gonna be they exclude all the non-codex classes. Yeah, that's true, but still I don't believe that this is gonna be in there. Honestly, my personal opinion is gonna not gonna be there because it's not a melee. It's clearly a mix up. There's the range, there's the spells, there's a lot of things. Um, Yeah, the trees are not. I mean, they might decided to give it a try just to see if it works in that format, but I don't think it does. It's cool, but it doesn't. Or they have to put the restriction that you can only put melee skills, which means you have to put only the one skill tree. I mean, it's annoying. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I don't know. It's possible. I would love for that to happen because it's funny. I believe this class is gonna bring back a lot of fun in the game that has been taken away by a lot of the latest events. Also, guys, let's not forget that this is not the only thing we're gonna get this summer. We're gonna get a new sudden death mechanic, which I really hope is not a new mechanic entirely. It's just an improvement of the tomato mechanic. I believe tomatoes are crazy cool, great idea, as even as a lore-based idea. It's funny, it's cool. I love it. Just at the moment, it doesn't work in a way that makes people enjoy it. Yeah, of course, you enjoy it when you win, you hate it when you lose. That doesn't even depend from the tomatoes. Depends from the fact that we all want to win. Of course, I get it. That's different. But not being able to win a game where you're winning because there's a mechanic that is not possible to understand entirely because it feels so random and fucks up entire game because people is there waiting 29 seconds on you plus the animation under 5 seconds and then you get hit by tomatoes every turn because they've been doing this the whole time since sudden that started. I mean that feels really toxic. Waiting the 20 seconds when you think that having been playing in sudden death may give you an advantage. I get it. I agree. That's fine. But this thing of being in the 10 seconds shot clock and player time banks will be the update. Yeah, I know, but 10 seconds shot clock. You mean that you have 10 seconds to make your move, and if you go more than 10 seconds, you enter the time bank, and then when you run out of time bank, when you get to 10 seconds, your turn is fucked up. Yeah, but let's be honest. I don't know if you have the same experience that I have, but to make an example, when you're channeling a pyroclast and you want to put a specific amount in of AP in that pyroclast, you are not able to do it in 10 seconds because you cannot put a number with your keyboard in there. Even if you can click there and it seems like you can't do that. I tried num block, not num block, numbers from the numpad or numbers from the keyboard, nothing. There's no way of putting a number manually. You have to click. If you have to put 18 AP, you're fucked up. It's gonna take you 15, 20 seconds for sure. So this, I don't know how is it going to play out. There will still be a small shuttle if there are delays in UE. You'll be in your bank to, yeah, yeah, okay, I get it. I mean, I have to see how is it going to work out. But I believe that this is gonna anyway sort out a lot of the problems that we're having lately. I think that even if we're gonna have the time bank and shot clock with 10 seconds, we're still gonna have the sudden death at a certain point of the game, but people is not gonna be able to play for the sudden death. So waiting the sudden death is not gonna be possible. It's just gonna be something that happens, which I understand a lot more. That should be the goal of the game. You want to try to win before the sudden death. Yes, I will help a lot. It's just one turn. So if you haven't, yeah, of course, yeah, of course. You still have the time back. Yeah, I get that, I get that. It's still just something that bugs me, thinking that I can't be in my shot clock time automatically just because that fucking user interface doesn't really work properly. That's something that should be honestly addressed. But I get it, it's not a priority. It's not a priority as much as it's not a priority making you see how much mana the skill that you're trying to use is gonna consume. You know how you should see the piece of the mana bar that is gonna be removed by the skill that you're gonna do so that you can understand exactly how much money. I mean, that would help a lot, would be crazy good. But still, I mean, the user interface is what it is. It's not crazy good. It's still in development, and I accept the fact that it's still in development. No, I'm not taking a piece about it. Sticks. It's not that I'm saying, oh, the user interface sucks. It's amazing. I love it, and it's getting improved every time a bit more. It's just that it's not perfect yet. There's still space for improvement, which is something good, I believe. Otherwise, we would have a perfect game, which we don't have yet. We are all aware of that. A lot of things that don't work, the reaction time, the way the turns move on the time bar still are getting fucked up. Taking a weeds. Yeah. I take a weeds with double giant slayer possibly. Um, Yeah, it will come eventually. Yeah, exactly. I agree. And another thing that will come eventually, and actually pretty soon, together with Priest, not in the same release, but together with Priest, I mean in the same period of time. So this summer, 100% sure this summer, it's gonna be the pet combat bonuses, guys. And I believe that pet combat bonuses, we are underestimating them so much. I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be some resurrection and second lives hidden in there so that if you don't have it on the hero, you have it on the pet. When level 30 is gonna be released after the basic classes, because I believe the level 30 is gonna be released after the all the basic classes are out before the advanced classes. Once that is gonna be out, with the free stable to do resurrection, all the resurrection monsters that we created, plus the ones in the pets, guys, those battles are gonna last a shit ton of time. It's gonna be crazy. You should be able to see on the time bar before you use it. Yeah, that would be cool. Um, yeah, you will have a lot of extra moves from pets. You will have a lot of buffs. You will have a lot of like having trades, and it's gonna be honestly so fucking cool and so fucking useful, and it's gonna give to this game so much more depth. And I'm gonna love it honestly because I mean now I play it really competitive. TuneFed makes fun of me saying that I'm how does he say always? I'm a play hard. No, he uses an expression like that. Thank you, TuneFed. I love you as well. Um, but honestly, I believe that this game requires that because once you put all that effort in understanding how it works, it's unfair to yourself and to the time that you invested in understanding how this works that you don't try to win, honestly. And to try to win, we all know the try hard. Yeah, try hard. Yeah, I'm a try hard. I would say that I'm gonna try hard this shit. But in my hand, it sounds like a die hard. Are you doing a die hard? What's that, Rick and Morty? No, let me get serious again, guys. I'm just sleep deprived and tired. Um, Honestly, we are in this summer for a lot of content. Yeah, it takes a lot. It's a crazy game. Yeah. Once last Mythic Mayhem, I played against Kortokagi, which StyckIntern might remember well, even because I sent to my mother the live stream of his commentary about one of my games, the game against Kortokagi. My mother didn't understand the word because she doesn't speak English, but it was actually a fun reaction. And I remember that after that game, Kortokagi, who had just rerolled all his heroes, spending a ton of Divine Essence, and then losing the final. It was not an important final, but anyway, losing the final in a really chess-like way, because the move that I did there was actually something that I tested quite a lot before. Um, Basically, he said a sentence that I will never forget and made me laugh a lot. After losing that game, he turned to me and said, "Fuck this shit. I'm gonna go back playing chess. It's much easier than this." Yeah, this game is actually complex. That's it. It's complex, it's complicated, it requires a lot of try hard mentality, actually, if you want to win it. But it's a really clever game. Yes, that's the percentage of RNG, which we'll never be able to control in any way, guys. When you lose an important game, like it happened to me this week, and I was playing the Revenger Championship, and I was in the final against Keraget. And when I finished that game, I was so pissed off. Like, really, I might even exaggerated in commentating that. Probably I should one day apologize about that, but I don't feel ready yet to do so. It is still too fresh as a wound in my heart. Um, RNG, we cannot say anything, guys. It goes the way it goes. That's it. And I know that the developers are doing their best to make the game as cool as possible and improve it as much as possible with the tools that they have, which is something I understand as a musician who had to make his own music, mix, master, recordings, and video clips on a computer that shut down by itself every half hour because it wasn't able to support all the tools that I was trying to use. I understand how it is to make something great without the tools to make it. Of course, if I would have had a super production studio with a 16 bank mixer, I mean, yeah, in the devs we trust. What the fuck was that? I mean, it's not that we trust, it's that anyway, I can recognize that they're doing a great job. Yeah, let them cook, all these kind of sentence that we usually use, guys. Yes, simply I think that they're doing a good job. With better tools, more money, more people, they will do a better job. Yes. If now Jewel pumps, because I saw that it was pumping the other day, today as well, BTC is pumping. I don't know how much is pumping BTC right now, because everybody's saying BTC is pumping, but at this point I'm curious. I want to see it. Um, let's see, out of curiosity. No, Rome wasn't built in a day, but then it fell in more or less that amount of time. So in the hourly chart is pumping, but I want to see it in the daily chart. No, it didn't hit all-time high. Ah, this is Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum is moving as well, which is good. Where is BTC? Ah, did it hit all-time high? No, I don't think so. Ah, maybe yes, by a millimeter. I was 112,040. 112. Yeah, but by $40 it hit the whole time. Yeah, but most likely, see, this is what I was saying in the beginning of the stream when Tunefed BTC said BTC is pumping. I mean, this was clearly built to happen. Uh, I know that this is, as Dragonfly says, throwing lines on these screens is like the astrology of Bitcoin, but I get it. But still felt like it was going to happen because it was really resisting on this point. So yeah, I believe this is gonna pump even more. I mean, it touched an all-time high, but between today and tomorrow, it's gonna go probably around 160. That would be cool, but still means that we are not in the art season yet. But I'm seeing that Ethereum is recovering now as well. Not enough, clearly, but it's still recovering. Hopefully, it just goes sideways a bit and it and AVAX rip. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I agree that that's what should happen. I agree 100% with you, Tunefed. We are not in the art season yet. That's for sure. Um, what's happening today that it's saying FOMC minutes? The inflation rate, guys, what do you think? Are they gonna cut this fucking inflation rate? I mean, Trump seems like not making politics here. Sorry, you are there, not there. That's my phone where I am, but you are there. I'm not making politics, of course, here, but I believe that Trump is really pushing for these rate cuts and Powell doesn't want to just because he hates him. But more than politics, this feels like the Game of Thrones or the rate cuts. But anyway, I believe if this rate cut comes now, we're gonna see a huge summer pump, which is not bad. Is not bad at all. I might think of getting some more stuff around just to accumulate for a bit. Um, well, we are getting away from the point of the conversation. Um, well, so yes, we saw the pirate today, guys. It's been really nice going through this codex with you. We had quite fun, I believe. I mean, I had a lot of fun, especially because for once I'm not playing any game that I'm losing in live stream, which is honestly a great change for once. I'm realizing just now that there's the chat appearing in the screen, but it's basically invisible because it's white on white. I had a terrible idea there. That's it, guys. Thank you all for being with me for this hour, 20 minutes. I don't believe. Yeah. I was in starting soon mode in the beginning. That's it. So an hour, 10 minutes. I really hope that we're gonna get these pirates next week. This week, probably we're gonna get some anticipation, the codex, maybe. I have to see, I have to see. And I hope that next week we're gonna get the release of the pirate and the anticipation of the release of the pet combat bonuses because I think that they're ready as well. The only thing I really hate thinking that is coming as well is durability because I'm really not ready to spend all that money on durability, but probably we will have to do it soon as well. That's it, guys. Thank you for being with me once again. Yeah, BTC is pumping because of pirates. Do it, do as a pirate, because pirate is free. You are a pirate. I should have downloaded this thing and put it in the sources to use it during the stream. I don't know why I didn't do it. I didn't think about it. This song defined my childhood, basically. Guys, thank you for being here. I wanna let you know that the chat live on YouTube is saying that TuneFed is number one follower today. At least there's a crown with written number one. And DFK Elite is number two. There's a number three somewhere. I don't see number three. No. Oh, number three is Desazot. Okay, okay. I don't know what does it mean, but I wanted to let you know. That's it, guys. Thank you once again. I see you next week for sure. I'm gonna go back on the Tuesday schedule if I'm gonna be able to get some sleep the night before and not fall asleep in the afternoon. Pirates soon. Ahoy, Scallywags. And as always, Karma's out. Thank you for being here, guys.
Mythic Squad, united by a bond. There's a corner of the kingdom where we won't reach your soul. No opponent safe. With Mythic Squad, better run and go hide in a cave. Ultra's got the best bets, over roads, every land. People will hunt you down with this mythic dread. You know winning is our thing. With Skeleton King, every rap we win, step with us in the ring. We're thoughts guide us through the stages while we summon mythic sages. Dark nights, spellbound crazy. Mythic Squad will remain for the ages. Mythic Squad!